the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som kräver konstverk kan så felina. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey everybody, welcome to WannaBet. I am Jason. That is Beltway Ben Hall. We are WannaBet. We appreciate you joining our WannaBet community here, where we do everything we can in our power to crunch these numbers, watch these games, analyze everything we can. I've been covering pro sports since I was 19. I'm 50, going on 52 years old now. What's said at press conferences at times, even that stuff. And we put it all together, and Beltway Ben and I come here every day, and we give you the very best plays we possibly can. And we've been doing it since May 21st. And frankly, we've been doing it better than anybody else in this business. We don't subscribe to corporate lines. Don't bet the numbers they want you to bet, that the books and their shills from Barstool and everywhere else shove down your throat. We're smart about it. You can be smart about it with us. And so far, so good. Beltway Ben, I'm getting a kick out of all the people whining about week one. Boy, I hear it all over the place. Week one, I got crushed. The public got crushed. Oh, it was so hard to predict. Oh, what a terrible week for bettors. We destroyed week one. Destroyed it. And so far, so good in week two, Beltway Ben. All that green is cash, people. All that green is cash. Yeah, I missed that Jaden Daniels parlay by 13 yards. I needed one explosive run out of him. It didn't come. Eckler getting hurt in that game, kept Ben from running the board. That's a lot of green there, folks. That's a lot of green with plus money next to it. A lot of green. We don't just do NFL around here, but we do a lot of NFL. And I'd say we do it better than anybody else. And that's our goal. That's our intent. If you're new to this show, from listening to the Tony Kornheiser show today, La Cheeserie, thank you for tuning in. We do this every single day. Beltway Ben, any thoughts on last night's game?
Yeah, it was a very good night. Unfortunate injury for Austin Eckler. I hate it. Achilles injury, and it's like the same way that we've seen so many guys go down. Tyrese Halliburton.
Yes.
So like all of the pitchers in the MLB, just that extension running forward. It's very unfortunate. But other than that, and we also did cash his first quarter rushing and receiving yards.
Oh, that's right.
Had 7, was on the hook. I was like, we're gonna lose. They get the ball back, hand it off to him. He gets tackled for a loss, then he catches a pass to get us enough. So Eckler did kind of even that one out. Micah Parsons, to record a sack, all you need is a quarter of a sack, a half a sack. All you need is him just to come through. He did, or over a quarter of a sack. Jaden Daniels over his passing attempts. At halftime, I didn't feel amazing, but I thought they were going to be playing from further behind. He goes over that. And Tucker Kraft, I mean, he was the player of the night. We were on him early in the week. We cashed that one in the first half.
And if you were on the Super Discord, and we've got a QR code, you can look at past episodes. You can go on my bio and find out. Someone on the Super Discord asked if we had any halftime live betting plays we're making. I said, yes, I've made one. Tucker Kraft anytime touchdown in the second half at plus 550. How'd that work out, Beltway Ben?
Worked damn well.
It was a MF and cash is what that was. On top of everything you see there. On top of all that.
Another thing with the Super Discord, though, like yesterday, I gave out the plays here, and the day went on. I was still looking at numbers. That's all we really do. But I'm looking at numbers, going through numbers. And Krosky Merritt's number, I saw it jumped up to 43.5, and I'm like, there's no shot. I jumped on it immediately, take it under.
What a stupid public play that was, right? Ben, what a stupid public play, jumping all over a seventh-round running back because he looked good against a Giants team that had basically lost the game at halftime.
And I hinted that I would probably take his under during the show when I said everybody saw that 42-yard run at the end of the game. Everybody's wowed by that, but before that, it wasn't much. And again, I gave that out at 43.5. Game time was 37.5. He ends up going under both.
There you go. It's what we do around here. All right. We don't dwell on the past, man. We're all over week 2 in a bunch of different ways. College, EPL, MLB. What you got first down, Beltway Ben?
First down, it's really tough to do this
This is a
situation.
ballsy call given the way
This
things
is.
are going for Gunnar Henderson lately. And it's Bassett at home. Are you sure about this one, Beltway Ben?
Absolutely. Two
right.
for his last 24, to Jason's point there. Did have a hit
A
yesterday.
lot of ground balls,
Has not
Beltway Ben.
looked
A lot of
I
ground
know.
balls.
Oh, I know.
It is a
I
fast
know.
track there, though.
I was about to say, fast track. He turns on one, sends it to right field. He's fast. He's an aggressive player. But I just can't expect a player like Gunnar Henderson to sit in this rut for this long. And it's more than just 7 games, right? 2 for his last 24. Before that, he was like 8 for 59. It's not good. Like, he doesn't look great at the plate. But we know, being the Orioles, and I'm not saying they should move him like they should move other guys. The Orioles aren't moving him. Gunnar Henderson's going to hit where he hits.
Oh, he's in
He'll
the
stay there
3
all
for life.
season long. Yeah, he'll never leave there. But I don't care where he's been at. I think when you can get Gunnar Henderson at -109 facing a right-handed pitcher, and I get it, he's got more power at home. He's been a better hitter at home. Chris Bassett's been a lot worse on the road, right? Those numbers all make sense. But against lefties, 276, 345, 459 slash line. And the slug is a lot more on the road when Bassett pitches on the road, but he still does get hit a little bit, like 255 average for hitters, lefties against him when he pitches at that Park Rogers Center. I don't think he's throwing a one-hitter tonight. He might shut them down a little bit, but I do think Gunnar comes through. 4 for 11 with 2 home runs, 5 RBIs against Bassett in his career. Again, I'm telling you guys the risk now. 2 for his last 24 coming in. Has not been going over this in his last 7. But at -109, he breaks out of this slump. We're not seeing this number again the rest of the year. I mean, what's there, 15 to 20 games left? We will not see a number at -109 again. So I do think he'll get out of it at some point, and I'm taking my risk tonight at -109.
I got to be honest with you. I'm from a gambling standpoint, I'm ready for MLB regular season to end. It's a grind, dude. We've had like I've been on MLB daily plays. Take out the All-Star break. I was going through my notes, and I'm old school. I don't put the stuff in computers. Like it's ridiculous how many baseball bets I freaking made in the last 4 months, dude. Like almost every day.
It is crazy.
Pretty much every day.
And then you have so many games.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm on that game in a different way in 4th and short. First down for me. I told you guys yesterday because we are transparent. And in full transparency, I give myself on our radio show, I give myself a C+ yesterday for my performance. I give myself a D-. The shingle shot still kicking my ass today, not as bad as yesterday. But the energy, everything, I was lacking yesterday.
I compared it to Jordan Flu game.
And I appreciate that. But Jordan won that game, and I can't say no. My bets won.
We won.
My bets kicked ass yesterday. My performance, D-. Better today. I told you guys I do not. If I get on another UEFA World Cup qualifier, punch me in the face. Punch me in the face. This is international soccer, but not really international soccer. This is the EPL. And it's domestic league play, and we had a really good start to the EPL. Now this week is tricky because everybody's back from international break, and it's going to affect some teams more than others, depending on how many players they have abroad representing their country, and depending whether they're playing in just friendlies or they're playing in true World Cup qualifiers. So this is what I'm on. I'm giving this out today because this Arsenal match is at 7:45 tomorrow morning. I'm not going to be up to watch the first half of it. If I keep feeling like this, I'll catch the second half. But we certainly won't be doing the show in time to give it out. Arsenal's playing Nottingham Forest. Look, did I love what I saw from Arsenal from an attacking standpoint before the break? I didn't. But this is a very different caliber of opponent. 10 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses in their last 16 against Nottingham Forest. The goal differential in those matches, 31-12. 31-12 in favor of the Gunners. The Gunners 6-0-1 against Forest at the Emirates. I'm not going crazy with to win by 2 or anything like that. We're just taking Arsenal to win that match in regulation. And then, look, we've been on the cherries a lot. Bournemouth's a team we've been on pretty much every week. And I think there's goals to be had here. If you want to play this above 2.5, I'm not mad at you. I just think both teams score. Brighton has had some quality results already. Bournemouth has had some quality results already. Bournemouth 4 goals scored, 4 conceded already this year. Liverpool ripped them apart. So I think they're good to concede because the way they go about attacking leaves them vulnerable at times. Brighton's a strong road team, man. Brighton last year was a positive team on the road. Positive results, 36 goals scored, 33 conceded. There tends to be goals for them when they're on the road. And it's not like Bournemouth is a fortress. So that's our parlay there. Second down, Ben.
Second down, we are going to go back to Kansas State. I mean, you just said you said it best. Like with your struggles there, my struggles have been with Kansas State. Like taking them twice, they have not come through for me. If they lose here, you can punch me in the face.
Okay.
Yes, you can punch me in the face because this is it pained me to do it. But like last night, I'll be honest, I was up late. I just kept looking at it, and I'm like, it's one of those things where I think people that really jump into it understand it, right? If you really look into Kansas State and understand what they had coming into the season, it makes sense that they should be able to beat Arizona. Now, the public and the regular person looks at records, looks at what Arizona has done in their first few games and says, how is Kansas State a favorite here? It doesn't make sense. But Dylan Edwards is questionable. Now, I thought he was going to play last week. Turns out he might not even play this week. I'm pretty sure it's more questionable to the not playing side, but I'm not too worried about that. It's a must-win game for Kansas State. By the way, there are rumors going around that Dylan Edwards, he fumbled that opening kick in the Ireland game. There are rumors going around that didn't get him hurt. He went to the sideline, kicked the bench, which resulted in him getting hurt. Done it before. I've hurt myself in stupid ways when you play sports. It happens.
Yeah.
So totally get it, but just kind of crazy because in real time, when I saw him twist his ankle, I didn't think he twisted his ankle. He didn't look like that's how he got hurt.
Right.
But now there's other things coming out about it. But there are a lot of people talking up Arizona. They haven't played anybody yet. They have not. And I get it. You beat up on a lot of teams. You play who you're supposed to. That's what you have to do. But I think Avery Johnson's the better quarterback here. Fafita without Ted McMillan, I don't trust him enough. This defense has to wake up, and they should be able to settle themselves a little bit against Arizona. And I get it's on the road, but road game, Chris Kleiman, I trust him. He should have the guys ready to go versus Brett Brennan, who I don't really trust that guy. I think when he took over, it was a tough spot. Fills in for Fish, who overachieved to the max at Arizona, gets the job at Washington, promoted there. So I don't know. I just don't trust Brett Brennan enough. And I think Kansas State road money line favorite. A lot of the public is going to be, I don't really like them taking Arizona. I like Kansas State here.
I'm going back to the well with one that didn't hit for me last week. I'm going back to the Naval Academy. I'm on the midshipman here. This thing has gotten to around 14.5. It's not the 21 against UAB last week. So I told, look, I want to get it under the 14 for obvious reasons. Navy beat Tulane 49-7 last year. The game against UAB last week was weird. Navy still scored a ton of points. UAB could not stop them. The UAB quarterback, John Kitna's kid, is pretty damn good. And Dilfer is chasing points because he knows he doesn't have a defense. But the weather delays and stuff, we ended up not getting what we needed out of Navy. They still won the game pretty handily. This is a lesser Tulane team. Tulane struggled to score Tulsa. I don't know why I'm saying Tulane. Tulsa. They beat Tulsa 49-7 last year. Tulsa struggled to score 14 against New Mexico. Navy's defense gives me a little pause, but not here. And I think Navy's option with Horvath running it, knowing last week they left some stuff on the table, and that game got way more uncomfortable than it should have. I'm comfortable with Navy winning this by 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. Third down, Ben.
Third down, we will head to Alabama. And this is not a team that I've been on this year. I know a lot of people like them against Florida State week 1.
Alabama.
Awful. But this really feels like an Alabama blowout to me. It feels a lot like last year's game, 42-10, and that was at Wisconsin. Similar matchup. Bama gets embarrassed by Florida State to start the season, as I said. All of the college football world is clowning them. All right, the Saban era is gone. Alabama isn't who we thought they were. They can still get these recruits. I mean, there's fans saying they want him out, DeBoer out. They do bounce back last week and beat Louisiana Monroe, 73-0. Now, not a good team, but they did show what they needed to against them. Didn't allow a point. Offense came ready to play. He's not in a good spot in Tuscaloosa, DeBoer, and he knows that. This game is at Bryant-Denny. If this team doesn't show up ready to play, they are going to be running him out of town. This is the SEC. Like this isn't the old Pac-12 when he was there. This isn't other places. This is the SEC. You need to show up. You're going to be facing Danny O'Neal. Now, Billy Edwards, I mean, I might want him to play because I think Alabama handles business if he plays. But even without him, I don't think Danny O'Neal's any better. There's a reason Edwards won the job. They paid him a lot of money to go play quarterback there. So it's going to be O'Neal. Bama is the way better team all around. Wisconsin, going to try to run some clock. They're going to try to make it ugly. I don't trust any of that. I mean, Alabama's got 5 stars off the hook, and I get it. Not everything is 5-star. Not everything is recruit. Not everything is this. They paid a lot of money for this roster they have right now, and you have to come out against these types of teams and these types of matchups and win. When we get to the college football playoff picture, we know the SEC is tough. We know they're going to lose a few games here and there. To make up for that Florida State loss, a 28-plus point win against another Power 4 opponent would be magnificent for them, especially if Wisconsin goes out and wins a few Big Ten games. Like, this could look like a good win. I think DeBoer is going to be running this lead up. I don't think he'll sit on any lead here. I think they look to win by, 4 scores, 5 scores, however he can do it. I like them minus 20.5 at minus 115.
Well, I could also see a scenario where Edwards plays. They have to utilize his legs because he's the bigger guy. And to your point, they have to eat clock. His knees, his body's been betraying him. He starts the game. He's not 100%. He has to leave the game. Then they try to run that stuff with the smaller kid, O'Neal. He gets absolutely smothered. He throws a few picks if he has to come in cold. Like, I don't think very highly of Wisconsin. So that's an interesting play to me. Third down for me, that's a holiday around here, and shame on me for not getting to this sooner. But you know what day it is, Beltway Ben. Quinny P, Quinny P, Quinny P, come on and cash for me. We love you the most, even more than Freddie P. Quinny P, ding, ding, ding. Beltway Ben, you were go ahead.
Some people, like, they have their least favorite holidays, like Halloween. Some people are just out on. Like, that's me for any of these Freddie P, Quinny P.
Well,
like that's,
you know what?
That's right.
If you would have been flashing meatball around, you'd have more money in your pocket. If you'd have been,
you're right.
If you
that is
followed
very
me on these instead of, you didn't fade me, but you've kind of verbally faded me. Your looks, your body language, the words coming out of your mouth. You faded me in the karma world, and that hasn't worked out too well. Quinn Priester is a god among men. Quinn Priester would be on the Wanna Bet Mount Rushmore. I've got to get some free time and make a head on a stick of Priester. Quinny P is a legend. Quinny P is a legend. The Brew Crew are 19-7 when Quinny P is on the mound. Now, they're making you pay for it finally, Beltway Ben. I checked these right before I went on air. Just to play Quinny P on the money line, which you used to get all the time between like minus 125 and depending how hot the Brewers are playing, minus 135, minus 137, minus 150 if they're playing a garbage team. It's almost minus 200 now. So we're out on that. But we are going to play the first 5. Quinny P's got 7 straight wins at home. Quinny P's barely pitched at home lately, though, right? 6 of his last 7 have been on the road. That's just the way that it's gone. Quinny P tends to get a lot of run support, and the Brew Crew are up against a garbage opponent today. Palante has a record of 5-13. Palante has a 4.9 ERA on the road. The Cardinals have lost 6 of his last 7 starts. In his last 7 starts, he's been destroyed, Beltway Ben. 7.64 ERA. He faced the Brew Crew once earlier this year. He could not give them 5 innings. He allowed 4 earned runs. Brew Crew can score in a lot of different ways. I'm thinking Quinny P holds this down. So, yeah, we're laying the half run. Let's get a hot start from the top of that order. Jackson Churrio's on fire right now. I like the way they play around with the leadoff spot. Yelly's having a heck of a season. Let's get a run early there. But Quinny P is a god. And you got a lot of run on Kornheiser's podcast with me today, as did Camila Cardosa, who's also obviously she's on the Wanna Bet Mount Rushmore, and we've got to get her. We got to get her on a stick here soon as well. So that's my third down play. Quinny P. Fourth and long is not fourth and long. It's fourth and short. Quick hitters. Ways to get you guys paid without having to sit through the entire game if you're not so inclined. What you got, Ben?
Yeah, real quick on the Brewers. I'm a good person. So when you talk a certain way about a team or player or whatever, and then you all of a sudden try to jump on and bet them, it usually doesn't go well. So I'm not going to mess up your bet. I'm not going to tell. So I think I like to think
I appreciate that, but it's a lot of chirping. Oh,
it is. Oh, just 2.5, 3 weeks. I think we'll really be beating on my chest here to let everybody know that I told you so. But not important. Here we are going to go to a quick hitter, including tonight's UCLA game and the 2 college football games tomorrow. The main play here, Alabama first half minus 12.5. Talked about it before. I think they come out the gate whooping up on them. I think they have a 2-touchdown lead at halftime. UCLA first half winner. If they don't figure things out against New Mexico, they're in trouble. And I did like what I saw in the second half last week. They played a lot better football in the second half last week, and really came down to the end, right? They get into the red zone, throw a pick, which really forced a loss there. And I had them on the money line, so I was hoping they could score a touchdown, send it to overtime. And then we also have Miami, like South Florida has been the team of college football this year. Super exciting. I can't fully knock them, but I do think Miami is a much better team. South Florida does not get enough pressure for me. They're not getting to the quarterback. You're going to give a guy who's my age, Carson Beck, all of that time. He's played so many college football games against that team. So I'm not really buying them against Miami this week. Now, that's a legit team. They're probably going to make the college football playoff as the one non-Power 4 team, but I don't think they handle Miami the way they should. So we have UCLA. And this is 3 different ways. So this is tie and then both winners. That's how you have to play this to get these odds. You could take regular money line, but your odds change a ton, and we're not going to get plus 208 at that. So when you go into it, it's first half winner 3 ways: UCLA to win, not tie, Miami to win, and then Alabama to cover the first half.
The only part of this, like, I'm real close. I got Meaty sitting right here, and I'm real close to firing on Meaty here. It's just that Miami leg that gives me, like, the South Florida
even
thing,
the UCF game
scares me a little bit. I wonder what would happen if you put Navy in there for Miami. I'm going to mess around with that. I'm going to steal your idea. I like this first half idea concept, when I like Alabama at that number. But I'm wondering, I'm going to play around with that third leg and see what I could do with that.
Also, real quick, I did want to give this out quickly. UCLA, Miami, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, plus 165 money line. Notre Dame and Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is mispriced here, but I like Notre Dame to cover against A&M tomorrow outright, and I like them to win. So plus 165 there.
Fourth and short for me. We're going to a Nerfy market. Ben talked at the start of the show about his Gunnar Henderson play. I'm in that game as well. We're playing a Nerfy here. Now, when I play Nerfies, I do look at how have these teams done recently. Have there been a lot of runs scored in the first inning with them, and how have they done for the season? Baltimore and Toronto are both, to me, Nerfy, negligible teams. They're basically right at 500, and they're both right around 500 the last 10, the last 20. There's not a lot there, but I like these starters. Bassett at home has been amazing. If you just look at Bassett's first inning ERA, you might have some pause. Drill down on what Bassett does in the first inning at home. 15 starts, 0.60 ERA. That's like 1 run allowed. The league against Bassett in Skydome, or whatever they call it, in the first inning, 185, 241, 204. 445 OPS. Have the Orioles been scoring any runs lately, Beltway, Ben? They're struggling to score a run a game.
They're winning, though.
They're winning, but they ain't scoring.
2-1.
You know, they insist on batting a kid leadoff who gets on base 28% of the time. Yeah. How about Trevor Rogers in the first inning and his 15 starts? He's got the same ERA as Bassett, 0.60. The league batting 170 off him in the first inning, whether it's home or road, with a whip of 0.97. Now, the top of that Blue Jays lineup can be formidable, and it can be good at home. But again, you run their Nerfy numbers at home. It's not. There's not a statistical edge one way or the other if you're going to look at the past to predict the future. So I'm going to say that these two starters who were really good in these spots get us through that first inning without allowing a run. This is our last overtime with our friends at the PLL. We've had a lot of fun handicapping Premier Lacrosse League games, going to Premier Lacrosse League games. We've got the 2 best teams in the league all season. Well, I shouldn't say all season, from about week 5 on for sure. As New York had a slow start, really got hot at Homewood Field when they took it to Philadelphia in that meeting that I watched firsthand. Shut down Sowers. In the Eastern Conference since. Denver, best team in the West pretty much all year. Both these teams can beat you with defense. Both these teams have elite netminders. And they played at the end of the regular season. It was an epic game. I mean, it was just from a pure lacrosse standpoint. It's some of the highest level lacrosse I've ever seen in my life. And when you grow up in Baltimore, you see a lot of lacrosse. I've covered lacrosse. I went to Syracuse, right to Loyola Blakefield, which, just Google it, lacrosse factory. There are guys who couldn't make varsity on the Loyola Blakefield lacrosse team who got D1 scholarships. Now, things have changed in 30, 40 years since I was in high school. Lacrosse is not quite as regional as it was. And then I went to Syracuse while they were winning national titles every year. Google it. That game that these two played was unbelievable. And Denver ended up winning by a goal. And so, Beltway Ben, I'm going to put this helmet on one more time because after this game and Harrison, New Jersey, and the helmet doesn't fit my fat head. We're not going to be on the PLL for a while because the season's over. This is just a lean for me. It's a lean that Denver again finds a way to be one goal better. But this thing is priced like it's a complete toss-up. It is a toss-up. I've got a slight lean to Denver. What about you?
I'm going to make 2 official plays. They're both going to be a unit. So we're risking 2 units here, and it's one of them is guaranteed to lose at least, right? We're going to take Liam Entenmann, MVP, championship game MVP, and we're going to take Logan McNaney, championship game MVP. Entenmann plus 450, McNaney plus 600. A goalie has won MVP in the championship game of the PLL in 3 of the last 4 years. So we're taking both goalies here, and we're risking 2. I'm perfectly fine risking 2 units because I think both of these goalies are good. You mentioned it earlier with the defense. They can both win the games with defense. And look how that last game went, right? Denver wins. First half, McNaney does not look good. They're allowing a ton of goals. All of a sudden, he allows 3 goals in the second half, and they go on to win that game. If that happens again or anything close to that, McNaney's the guaranteed MVP. McNaney changed the season for Denver. Like, we need to remember that.
Oh, absolutely.
McNaney, he changed the season
Where did
for
he go to
Denver.
school?
So to me, UMD.
Yeah, he's a Terp.
He's a Terp. We do love Terps on the show as well. Like, I don't think we credit that enough. I mean, when we played Alyssa Thomas for a triple-double. She cashed the first triple-double to WNBA this year, and we gave that out.
Yeah.
So you have to just appreciate Terps. But I think he wins it if they win. And then Entenmann, he's the odds-on favorite. So clearly, books think he has a good shot if they win. I think this is a pretty low-scoring game here. I like either goalie to win the MVP. And again, we're risking 2 units. We're guaranteed to lose 1, but I think one of them wins it.
I want to be like totally transparent for the 3 freakazoids out there who want to like tell us we're not accurate and how we grade our picks. So if I was going 2 units with him, that would be Gigi. She's a husky. She's the biggest dog in my house. This is not a Gigi for me. I'm going to go. I'm an old man dealing with a single shot. I'm just going to go a half unit on both, which would be 1 unit total, which is a meatball. But I like the way you're thinking. And I do think I do lean to the under here as well. And I think there's going to be enough. Look, I can see these guys getting a little bit involved in the attack, doing some things, stick handling outside the net, creating some transition attack that way. And I think we're going to see some wild saves. So I'm with you. I think that's the way to play this thing because there's not much separating these teams. This show has gone longer than usual, but for good reason. Beltway Ben, again, could you let our friends know what we did on Thursday Night Football? There you go. Don't bet corporate lines and don't listen to corporate whores. If you're going to beat these books, you can't be following the stuff that they put on their apps and the stuff that they have their shills crammed down your throats. You've got to be calculated. The lines that they produce, the general lines they produce, are induced to take your money. You've got to manipulate things in a way where you can find perceived true value. You have to be smart about it. You have to be calculated about it. And most of the time, if you really want to succeed, you've got to be on them early before things start to catch up and before you start to lose value as more money comes in on these games, the closer we get to them kicking off. Is there risk? Sure. People get hurt. Look, I'm on San Francisco -7 from last Friday for this game. Mac Jones and Kittle and everybody else got hurt. Is San Francisco going to cover that 7? I don't know, but I'm definitely on them a bunch of different ways, and I like them at -3, and I love them on the money line. So there's ways to hedge yourself as well when you get in early. But anyway, that's Beltway Ben. I'm Jason. Shingle shot still kicking my ass, but I do think I did better today. We will be back tomorrow. Are we going 11 tomorrow, Beltway Ben, to beat the noon kickoffs?
Yeah.
Or 10:30, whatever. I'm game for whatever. But yeah, we'll say 11 tomorrow. We want to bet. You want to bet. Thank you for wanting to bet with us.